Hey folks, it's Timbo256, Crappie Man. Let me show y'all a little trick today about catching fish when the water gets a little colder during around the time of September all the way through February. It involves something, just simple stuff, a float. Now it says it's a 1/16 ounce. Not all floats are going to just, display what they actually weigh. Um, There's many different kinds of floats, bobbers, whatever you may want to call it. Mr. Crappie actually makes a really good one. It's a 3-piece unit. You basically put this stem down into there, and it's got these holes you line up. You put the line in there, you hold the line, you twist with the, you basically got the line on either side here, and you're holding it however you want to do that. You want to take this and twist it 180 degrees, and then you can watch as you can see the line on this side. Twist that around 180. It's got this little cap right here. Make sure it reverses the 180 degrees, so no, it's not going to slip. Basically, there's going to be no, make sure one end is 180 and the other is 180. You know what I'm saying? So you basically, that little slot right there, it will be on the other side of that. Pop it on there. Make sure you got your bobber stop on there. You can pull that off. You can jig with it. If it's slow, put you one of those floats on there. You can only get 2, and I'm wanting to say 2 of these are about $3. They're pretty expensive. That's Mr. Crappie brand, but that's a 1 1/4, and then they make a 1 1/2 ounce. This is considerably bigger than that. But there's so many types of floats out there, I couldn't even begin to tell you. You got these little things here. You basically just run the line through there, and you got this little peg it off, drop it out there a foot, drop it out there 2, 3, 4 till you figure out the motion. You got these sliding types of floats. You got these sliding types of floats. They actually got a weight right there, and then that. There's more of these thin pencil floats made by Thill. That's actually a really good type of float. Some of them have it, some of them don't. Here's a very good. This is a slip float all the way through. This is not a slip float. This has a spring on the end of it, and that's basically a locking float. They look the same, don't they? Yeah. I bought a bunch of these one time, and I was pretty ticked. I was like, man, I needed the slip floats. But, it is what it is. You stock up. Oh, and if it's really light fishing you're doing, get you a strike indicator. Of course, we use that for trout fishing, where I come from. And then, of course, you got the good old. And then there's the longer. You see a lot of old timers using those for crappie fishing. But I'm going to show y'all how to tie a slip float today. On a 32nd ounce jig head with a piece of plastic on it, with a bare hook, put your minnow on, and then we'll have a small BB. It's pretty good size. I don't know. I think it's a. Might be a. I don't know. Anyway, we'll get to that here in a minute. Now, you can go down to Walmart, and that's where I picked these up from. It's Abu Garcia, top of the line manufacturer. It's an S40 Cardinal, And it's a pretty big spool on here. It can hold, I use 8-pound test. On my rods, I don't use anything less than 8-pound test. Because if you crappie fish, you are going to catch a bass, you are going to catch a catfish, a drum, a big carp. You never know what you're going to fish. When you're going for crappie, you never know what you're going to catch, depending on the bait you use. You can go to Walmart and you can pick up one of these reels. I'm wanting to say they're between $29 and $39. Very good reel. Very good reel. It's got the instant anti-reverse. It's 6 or 8 ball bearings. I don't remember. But it's very sensitive. The rod is actually a Duck Commander. It's made by B&M. It's an IM6 graphite ultralight spinning rod. It's a 6-foot 2-section. And I like my two pieces so I can collapse them, put them down in the truck, or excursions. Alright, getting down to business. First thing you've got to have, get out of there, little bitty bead. You gotta put your bead on there to keep that bobber stop from burning the line. When you get a big fish, he'll sit there and it'll put so much pressure against. You see how that's not perfectly tapered off? It'll burn it. It'll sit there, the line will rub on that. And that's what pops the line on these 2-pound and 4-pound and 6-pound lines. Like I said, I use that 8-pound line. It's a little bit more resistant, but I still use the bead. You can't ever have enough insurance. Now, like I said, that Thill type of bobber I was using, it actually has a bobber stop built on. It's already tied on to the top of the float when you buy it. So just put your bead on. Slide that bad boy through there. Flat out, I ain't born to be a needle and threader. Now I can sew, but it's gonna take me a while. Alright, pull you out about 4 foot. I got a long reach here. Take your BB shot, put it around the line. Don't use your teeth. Make your teeth bad, believe me. I ain't got no fakes, but I got a bunch of fillings and hadn't cracked none biting down on a sinker yet, but I still do it from time to time. I know I shouldn't, but that'll stop your float from going down any farther. Plus, it'll help get the minnows down there in your presentation, your jig, whatever it is. It'll get it down in the water faster before any little brim or skipjack or anything has a chance to try to attack it. And then you can adjust whatever depth you get to when you get at the lake and you start catching fish. I'm already have 4 or 5 poles that I'll be using with this style of bobber and then the Mr. Crappie, so I won't have to worry about even messing with this yet. So I'm just going to get this one ready as a backup. Always a good idea to have a backup. Always a good idea, because you get on some crappie 1 minute, next minute they're hot, next minute they're not. It happened last night. The water's up 8 foot, 10 foot. Fishing in 20 foot of water, and they was down about 6, 8 foot, 12 foot for the big one that I finally caught. All right, we're gonna put the probably want to put, I don't know. It probably doesn't matter. My preference is usually I'll put the hook on, and then I'll tie the jig on the very bottom, because you put a Palomar knot on the very bottom no matter what you're fishing with, but that jig is basically going to sit there and it's going to hold pretty much like that. It really doesn't matter. I tell you what, here, I'll show you how to tie a loop knot. We'll put the jig on first. Okay, go ahead and pull you out about. Go ahead and be safe. Just go ahead and pull out about 20 inches. Alright, you're going to take that line and just let it go. Alright, you want to hold the jig. You're basically holding the main end of the line coming out of the reel, and then the other end when it passed through here. You're holding both of those in sections. Okay, what you want to do, take that jig, put it between your middle finger and your thumb, and then you're going to come across, make a bridge with your index finger. Come across like that, come up under your middle finger again, and then slip it up under your thumb, and you should be right there. Okay? You're going to take it, you're going to put it through once, twice, 3 times. People say 3. I go 4. Now what you're going to do, okay, you're going to put, you see what I got going on here? You're going to take this part of the line, you're going to put it around the jig head, and you're just going to use that as an anchor point. Alright, what you're going to do, you're going to pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, okay. You get down here, you see you got that funky shape. Wet it. It's crucial. Dip it in the water, dip it in the minnow bucket. I really don't care what you do with it. Stick it in your mouth like I do. If you don't wet it, pressure points will kill it when you go to put the pressure down to it. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, you basically just pull. You can either pull that main line, or you can pull it that way a little bit. I like to pull it both ways, you know, so you get an even distribution. But you'll come up with a loop there like that at the end. You see its line still needs to be doubled up a little bit better there, or pulled together. Like I said, wet it, put some force behind it. Don't let the line cut your fingers. Wrap it around your finger like floss a couple times. Give it, and make sure you got a good hold head of that head and not the hook of the jig. Jerk it a couple times. Make sure it's good and tight. It's not going to slip. I promise you. That knot right there is not going to slip. 3 times maybe, but once you go 4 times, that bad dude ain't going nowhere. And you might just pull a big old 8-foot Christmas tree up off the bottom too with one of these. I've done it before. Very seldom. Well, sometimes I lose jigs more than others. You know, you're going to have to retie. But in the end, you're going to come up with something just like that. It's basically almost balanced. Your plastic now, it's going to have a flat face on it if you buy these Bobby Garlands. Now they got them in all kind of different colors. This is blue ice or something like that. Bring it all the way through. Bring it on down. Almost to the tail. Okay. Push it up on the jig there. Bang. And then we'll have our dropper line for our hook. We ain't gonna need that much line. For sure. Don't do that. Use snips or pliers. Don't bite it. Well, if I can grab that little bitty old hook. Now that's like a number size 4 eagle claw, straight shank, non-rotating hook. We're just going to tie a Palomar here on the end. And you go through the head, okay, Pull out a good little bit like you did when you were tying the loop knot. You're going to, only difference is you're going to come back through that eye head again. Grab that line and shimmy until you can get enough. You basically got this going on right here. Take, basically just take the very end of that knot, or the end of the tag line, and hold it right there on that other end of the line, and then you got your loop over here, you got your hook in the middle. Come over here, you're going to basically just wrap it around, and then you bring this loop right here, you're going to basically pass it right through the center of where you just loop these two ends around. Following me? Are you listening, Morty? Well, if I can get it to pass through, and it'll take practice. It is tough. It is tough. Okay, and once you've done that, put that loop through that knot. You want to take that loop, pull it just enough to where you can slide it over the hook. You want to slide it over the front of the hook just like that. Okay, now hold it. Get all the crap away from the eye of the hook right there. Hold the eye of the hook. Spit on it, wet it. Just give it a pull. Now, keep in mind, you got both of those. You got the tag end of the line, and then you got the other main end of the line. You're pulling on both of those. You see that knot shrinking up? Give her a pull. Like I said, with floss, that kind of helps. She ain't going nowhere. Alright, and now you're ready. Well, take your tag end of that. Go about 1/8 of an inch away from the eye of the hook. So you got just a little, piece that slides right there. See, just a little bitty edge sticking off. But they won't be able to tell the difference. So you basically have your main jig up here. Throw a minnow on it if you want, or a little crappie nibble, and then take you a minnow. Put you right here on this hook. Throw it on out there. And once you figure out what depth they're biting, it's easy peasy after that. So I think we're about to go. Let's go fishing.